In this video, I will explore the history and origins of intelligence testing and how it arguably became corrupted by social factors in America. Intelligence testing, now commonly known as IQ testing, has its origins in France, devised by psychologist Alfred Binet. Binet always had a penchant for observing intelligence, observing how both of his daughters were both intelligent in vastly different ways. One was creative, interested in the arts, and endowed with wonderful imagination, and one was calculated and logical. This signaled to Binet that intelligence was a vastly complex issue. How was one to measure something that could take so many forms? Nevertheless, the French government commissioned Binet to solve problems arriving in their education system, the mentally subnormal. It was not effective for the education system to teach slower learners in the same manner as the rest of the students. They needed a way to differentiate on a mass scale. They approached Binet, known for studying intelligence, to develop a solution. To solve this problem, Binet developed the Simon-Binet test. Although Binet thought everyone was intelligent in unique ways, usually taking weeks to study one patient, he had devised a test that now allowed children to be categorized into mental ages, with different tests being curated for different ages. If a child could complete a test above their true age, they had a high mental age. Yet if they struggled, then they had a mental age lower than their real age, aka they were subnormal. Most children should, according to the test, be able to complete the puzzles of logic and intuition that were associated with their real age. They would then be mentally normal. Binet hoped this would signify which children needed extra help to catch up, but it of course led to the mistreatment of children found to be subnormal. They would be alienated and separated, ignored rather than helped. Furthermore, whereas beforehand Binet would take months studying individual patients to learn about their unique intelligence, a test was now being used to measure people in under an hour. Necessity for a quick solution had led to a form of testing that was, by many accounts, inadequate for truly accurate results. Furthermore, as the German psychologist William Stern pointed out, two people could achieve the same mental age, but they could have got to their answers in completely different ways. One may have solved the puzzle one way, and one may have solved it another. IQ testing generalizes two people who may have had different types of intelligence into the same generic score. When intelligence testing of this nature reached America, the problem with state-devised mass testing worsened. An interpretation of Binet's tests was used to screen potential officers for World War I, developed by American psychologist Robert Yerkes. This was riddled with issues. The tests contained culturally specific questions, such as asking participants to name what work the character Scrooge appears in. Only middle to upper class, predominantly white, Americans would know the answers to these, owing to their formal education. It was no longer based on general logic and puzzles independent of any specific cultural knowledge, but it now would only result in a certain type of American being dubbed as intelligent, no matter their nationality. Intelligent people, unaware of specific American cultural knowledge, would score low on the tests. This was incredibly problematic in World War I, as it was justification for having a predominantly white and upper-class selection of officers, while the poor would be put in lower roles. This then expanded into American schools, who had a need to measure the feeble-minded. The Stanford Binet tests were created to attempt to do this. This led to classism in the classroom, where culturally specific tests suggested undesirables were inherently less intelligent, rather than perhaps being intelligent, just with less opportunity. This, of course, led to much racism in the early 20th century America. In short, intelligence testing is often risky. If the questions are culturally specific, it nullifies any chance of the test measuring true intelligence. As true intelligence does not rely on any cultural knowledge, it should have pure logical and intuitive puzzles, which they no longer do. Furthermore, intelligence testing fails to reveal any nuance in intelligence. People get to answers in different ways. They are creative or logical, imaginative or calculated. The test has no room for such distinction and instead generalizes. This is why Binet spent so long measuring individuals, whereas generalized testing measures millions. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.